Hi everyone, it's Sweet Additions. This is Cousin Patches.
And this is Big D, aka King Kong.
Yes, this is my King Kong I've spoke about. I brought him on here because I found him to be a very patient man. And at times like this and dealing with women of today, time has changed. And you're dealing with a whole different breed of women. And I just felt that he'll be, a good person for y'all young men and anyone that's struggling with crazy women syndrome. Of dealing with them things. And so I figured, I've been dating him now, damn near almost a year now. And maybe he can kind of enlighten you on some of the things. Or, some of the things that he does to keep from choking the shit out of me. Uh, What do you do? What is it that you do to keep you from just choking me to death sometimes?
Basically, just knowing who you are.
Mm.
Because everybody already knows that Patches has a personality that's just out of this world. The, the person that you see on Sweet Addictions every time y'all look at a video, that's exactly who she is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That's exactly who she is. And your personality makes up for a lot with you. Not to mention, my baby can burn in the kitchen. If you can tell, I loves to put it in the kitchen. I loves to get it in, and she cooks everything.
She's like, keeps him at peace.
Yes, she's like grandma in the kitchen.
Yes.
And most of the cats,
don't feed him chicken wings, buffalo chicken wings.
No, nothing out of a bag or out of a box.
No. I just go ahead and deep fry whole turkey wings and roll it around in buffalo sauce for my King Kong. He's a big nigga. Look at his hands. Let me see your spalding hand. Where's some hands at?
She calls this my paw.
He's his paw.
She calls this
he
my
sleeping,
paw.
he walk with his hand like this all the time. That's his paw. You can't give his paw chicken wing. He can't even grip nothing that small. You gotta give him fried turkey wings. That's his paw. But recently, we had just had just got into it, because we love hard and, we play hard and we do everything kind of hard.
Like Mary J said, we got that hood love. That's what it is. We got that hood love.
Yes, it is. It's
when
crazy.
somebody can get you so upset that you are looking at them and you would never do it, but you think about everything that you would want to do to them just to keep them quiet at that moment. That's when you know you're pretty much in love with somebody. When somebody can talk to you and you just like, whatever. And you can tune them out and keep playing PlayStation or watching TV or whatever else you're doing, then you really don't care. That's just the truth of the matter.
It bothers me too, because he'll be like, what you want? Is it you right? Okay, you right. Is that what you want to hear?
Sometimes y'all want us to be the bad guy. Y'all want us to be the bad guy. Y'all want us to tell y'all right, even though they ain't always right. But y'all just want us to say, y'all want to hear those words. I just want you to see
the point. At the point. To the point. Here recently, we had just gotten into a little squabble. And, my baby, he's very active in life. He's a coach, and for football, he has a little league or whatnot. And, he's a full-time dad. He got 2 beautiful children. And, he tries to keep that rolling. And in between all that, sometimes some of his chores he forgets to do. But recently, he looked at me and he had told me, I said to him, honey, you need to wash the van. It's your turn. He looked at me and he said, basically he told me, well, if I want to clean, I clean it myself. But I've cleaned it before. Okay. So it was his turn. Okay. I went out there to go to school one day and I noticed there was a lot of bird shit on the minivan. Now, me being the woman that I am, I'm I'm with you, but I'm not getting ready to ride throughout town with bird shit on here, which I knew he eventually would get to it, but I needed him to get to it when I wanted him to get to it because it bothered me at that moment. So, he was like, look, I got other things I got to do. And I'm like, you need to clear this bird shit off of here. This is an $8,000 vehicle, and if they can shit on an $8,000 vehicle, why can't I? That's just basically how I felt. He did not see the logic to that. Did you see the logic to that?
No. And let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Okay.
Because this ain't going to be a one-sided story. Basically, most men have no problem with being asked to do something. If you ask a man to do something and he fights you on it, sometimes it's all about the delivery and how you ask him to go about doing something. Because
I guess you want me to say to you, most gracious, most merciful one, would you please wash that van?
No.
Is that what you want?
But I should feel like I'm in a loving relationship when I get asked and I'm not
He's
in the
called
army.
King Kong. How loving can you get?
And I'm not in the army. Because sometimes Patches gets that army tone, and y'all watch the videos and y'all know to where sometimes I feel like I should salute after when she walk into a room, I should stand straight.
He should pose up.
I should
pose up. All up
wait for her to give me the A's so I can drop my hand. That's
because he should do that just because I find him sexy. So when he walk in the room, he damn near should be all up and pose up. That's all I'm saying. Keep the flavor. Keep it looking good for me.
Of course.
That's all I'm saying. Pose up. Look good for me.
But it's a big difference in
between what?
Maybe the van's looking kind of bad. Can you wash it? And you need to wash the van. You need to get the bird shit off. That's like I was raised already by Ramona Joseph, Emma Joseph, and Francis Nichols. So that tone, when you almost 38 years old, that tone is problematic. I don't care who you are. No man wants his woman to come at him like she's got a leash around his neck and she's pulling the choker when she's like, get your ass on. That's how you do a dog when you can. Bring your ass on. Come on.
But you know what? My health was at stake. I could have caught a bird flu. So, like I told Mr. Joseph, a.k.a. King Kong, I said, well, if they can shit on an $8,000 van, I can too. And believe me, I would have pulled up my gown and shit it on the hood of his van. I'm not playing with you. I mean that with my whole heart. If I can shit on Q, the van would have been shitted on. But I've been eating cheese sticks and mozzarella sticks and shit, and it was a little tight that day, so I couldn't shit on the van on Q the way I would like to. But like I said, I knew I was going to take me an X-Lax later, because if he ain't cleaned off that van, I was going to blow the hood back. And what did you tell me? When I told you that I was going to shit on the van, you said, what kind of woman am I?
What kind of woman are you?
That's what he said. What kind of woman am I? And then you asked me, what sense did it make then?
Yeah, because the logic is if you shit on the van, which she probably would have shit on the van. I'm under no misconception that
it's not beneath me to shit on the van. I ain't never shitted on $8,000.
But now, instead of the situation being easily handled, now she shit on the van, and now we're going to ratchet it up to a different level. To where now, I'm appalled. I'm going to be like, now I damn near don't want to drive the van. I would probably catch the bus.
He would still drive that van.
Just to keep
and when he gets to work, they would have been like, what kind of a bird shitted on his van today? They would have thought it was a bald eagle that flew down and shitted on his van, a pelican or some shit. Because
it takes a special kind of person.
He was going to leave it out there and walk on there.
It takes a special kind of person. One, to drive a van that, okay, birds shit on vans all the time. That's just a fact of parking under trees. But to drive a van that you know another human being knowingly pulled their drawers down climbed up on your hood to take a shit to prove a point. That's the whole different level. I don't know anybody who gets down like that.
Before we even go any further, I'm going to stop this video right now because I'm emailing this and I want to make sure that it gets it home. So I'm going to stop it at the 10 minutes and I'm going to pick it back up and let you continue to hear how he had to handle with an upset, disgruntled woman who had a turd lodged up her ass with his name on it. Stop video. Back at you, sugars, with Cousin Patches
And Big D.
King Kong. We was just left off about the dilemma of how I said wash the van, and him saying sarcastically that I can, find another way of transportation. And I basically am like, shit, I'm not having another transportation. I'm gonna ride in this van, and I want it washed, cause I'll be damned. I'm riding. So this had made me irritated, and I had irritated him by the way my comment had came after him. So now we are practically at the fact that I am, I am, but I was gonna blow shit upon his hood of the car. So, because I've never shitted on $8,000 before, and that's about how much his van costs is $8,000. So I was just gonna leave a big fat wet turd and let him drive on to work, so his work buddies can be like, "Damn, what kind of an eagle has shitted upon your van?" I can see it just splattered back on his windshield as he's driving along, because he won't even notice it in the morning because he don't give a damn. And then when he get there, as soon as he start to kind of get the riding down and that shit splat and hit that windshield, he been wondering if one of the dogs of the neighborhood had been shitting on his hood. So now we at the point I've threatened to shit on his hood, and that he says, what type of person gets logic? What logic was that?
Who even contemplates?
What kind of a person as well? He's trying to accuse what kind of person am I?
Well, who contemplates taking a shit on somebody's van just to prove a point? I don't know. To me, maybe it's just me, but that seems kind of extreme to me.
I told him I am not logical. I'm practical.
Most people throw paint, dump trash. You know what I'm saying?
If the birds can practically shit on $8,000, then I can practically shit on $8,000.
Who chunks a deuce on the hood of somebody's van and leaves it there like a hood ornament? Who does that?
I was so heated.
Where does that happen at?
That if he didn't have that van washed by the time my Axlax started working, because you can't shit on Q, I was going to pop his hood to his trunk and shit in his vents and let him ride around, Lord. Let him ride around the little city with this shit blowing from the vents of his car. And I was just going to ride with the window down talking about, it's hot in here. And that's what I was going to, that's what I was going to do. And I told him it was not beneath me to shit on a nigga's vents. I would have went back to bed and laid down, and when he would have came in the next morning, he would have seen oil streaks on the sheets of where I slid back in bed. Tell me, baby, somebody is shitting in my vents. Maybe a squirrel or something has crawled under the hood and blew it back. I was going to blow it back.
I don't doubt it. Like I said, I have no misconception that you wasn't going to hold true to your word. But logically, y'all know that don't make sense.
It made plenty of sense to me.
That don't make sense.
Because, see, I'm not logical. I said I'm practical. And if the birds can practically shit on his van, why can't I? I've never shitted on $8,000 before. It might be the best shit ever. I'll be tuned up, blowing his hood back if he wasn't going to go ahead and wash that off the van so I can ride around with it. At least my duty won't give you the bird flu.
Which brings us back to
how he handled the situation.
How the situation could have been easily diffused by just using a lot of times, folks. We talk to each other in relationships, and the respect factor don't always play into our conversations, and that's what makes us do and say things that once it leaves your mouth, you can't take it back.
So I guess somebody has to be the bigger person.
Somebody has to be the bigger person.
He washed the van.
I didn't want to do something like a hood ornament. What was I gonna say?
He had it washed
man, I don't recognize
before that correctile kicked in.
I don't recognize that hood ornament. What kind of van is that? Oh, dog, that's one of them brand new.
It's a gravy boat.
That's one of them Chunkalate. That's one.
He would have had to explain it at what?
People ain't up on that yet.
What kind of a bird his shit on his nigga's bed today?
I got to make up an excuse.
Why there's a big chunk
I got to create a brand name to explain the shit hood ornament on my van. It just don't seem right. It don't seem right.
Well, ladies, he got it washed. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme, but he really wanted to choke the shit out of me. He knew if he had left me alone or walked out of a room that I was going to use any opportunity to blow his hood back with feces. So, does he A, piss me off even more and jeopardize going to work with a patches coated peanut nutty blow bar butt bubble? You know? Well, it would have been more like a butt log that I was going to leave right there. And if I took that Axelax and he didn't wash it, I was just going to splatter back. So I was going to pop the hood and let the Vips have it. Because, it's not beneath me to set an example. So he didn't do none of them things. Actually, he decided that he was going to work with me. He didn't, or he came the bigger person. He stopped arguing with me. And he went on and washed the van. Now, I should have been just happy and quiet while he washed the van.
That's not it. I don't think.
He should have sprayed me with the hose, ladies. I gotta admit.
It's some things that I just don't think is in a woman's nature. And winning an argument gracefully just happens to be one of them. It's like,
why did he take me with him to watch the car at that moment, that immediate moment? And I stood outside and still patronized.
It's like
I just couldn't be quiet to save my life.
It's like after a fighter win a boxing match,
I was right,
and he just can't shake dude's hand, raise his hand, and walk back to the dressing room. He got to run around the ring and hop up on the ropes and beat his chest at the crowd like, yeah! So some battles just ain't worth fighting.
Yeah, so I guess he's saying pick your battles. But see, that's what we are. And when you pick your battles, life is a lot more easier. Because he don't have to.
We are men.
Yes, y'all built to be.
We have pride. We have pride just like y'all have pride.
That's not what I thought you was going to say.
What do you think I was going to say?
That since you are a man, that you're supposed to be man enough to walk away and just say, okay, baby.
Well, you get to that point, but that pride thing plays a big. That's why a lot of arguments and situations drag on and on and on, because everybody got their pride on the line, and nobody wants to put their pride in their back pocket because nobody wants to feel like a bitch after the situation. Nobody wants to feel like that.
He wants to always be the fucker instead of the fucky. That's what I heard. Excuse my French, but that's the truth. He feeling like the bitch. All I've said is, ladies, but I learned a lesson too. As my man washed that car off and not choked the shit out of me. I said, he must really love me. Because most niggas would have just took that hoe and probably sprayed me the fuck down.
That's how I get him. I threatened to take a shit on his man. That's how I make him do what the fuck I want.
I was so angry I was going to do that. I literally was. I wasn't going to feel better until, but that's my baby. That's just throughout this time of while Candy is, hatching the baby for us. Because she get ready to have this beautiful baby boy that I cannot wait. I will be doing more shows from my home. And I will be doing Cousin Patch's Cribs where you can see my home and whatnot. And we'll have little tips from Big D on how to hold a good woman down, because good woman nowadays is a whole totally different woman than what they was back then. Because I ain't no missile type of female. And I can understand. Yeah, that I did not say it. I could have said it nicely. And if I had said it nicer, I wouldn't have been outside arguing, hooping, and hollering, trying to shit upon this man's van. I love him. I want marriage or something one day. He's not maybe gonna want to propose to the lady who made his shit in his vents and he had to ride around all winter smelling hot shit. He may not want to do that. So he diffused the situation by being the bigger person, and I commend him for that. So he will be coming in and help giving advice on dealing with people who are logically practical like me. Because I'm practical.
And also, I will be giving y'all some in-depth, intimate observations on Patches. The woman behind the video. It's a lot of layers to it. It's a hell of a lot of layers. It's a hell of a lot of layers to it. And I read the comments and y'all love her. You can't help but love her.
I love y'all.
She's deep. And I'm gonna enjoy helping y'all because some of y'all I see on the comments.
I did not even know you was
but I know some of y'all on the comments, y'all don't know quite what to make. Y'all kind of like, is she being for real? So I'm gonna help y'all. The ones that really have that confusion and I just don't know for sure, we gonna get you there. we gonna help you understand this woman right here.
Let me tell you something. Since birth, the picture behind you is a picture of me, and I'm gonna show y'all. Since birth,
y'all got to see this.
I wasn't playing.
You gonna bring it down here?
I brought it down to you guys.
Look at this is a baby picture. Notice she is posing for the camera in the crib. At that age, she was such a diva even then. She posed for the camera. And not a pose. That's not a pose that a baby does. A baby normally does a pose where their hands is up and they lightweight look confused and they looking up like, ooh, what is that? Look at her. My baby got her hand thrown behind her head like, yeah.
I always at the end of all my shows, I always send shout outs to my businesses that are local business I support. Of course, continue to support T-Man's Tats. He will be doing a segment on baby. Oh, is it baby? That's how guys it is. Oh, T-Man got some stuff for y'all babies. And apparently I couldn't remember that and I'm getting old. But yeah, it's gonna come back to me. So when it does come back to me, it's baby, if you only knew. That is his segment. T-Man, I'm sorry, shit. You see, I didn't know. I had to think about it, and I realized I didn't know. And that's how I knew it was baby, if you only knew. So I'll be doing that. He did a tat. I show everybody's tats. This is my baby's blood sacrifice. Look at this. Look at that gun. Sexy. Look at that. That was his blood sacrifice. I've showed y'all some pictures through the last one of T-Man's Tats, but this is my baby's blood sacrifice. And he had made me mad not that long ago, and we have made up, but it's only
I had to shed blood. The makeup was only complete if I shed blood.
Because I was hurt. And if he didn't hurt me, he wouldn't have to shed blood. So I will be tatting on his arm, laugh from T-Man's baby, if you only knew. So it's going to be who, if you only knew. I will be shedding blood again from his arm. He needs to be punished by shed of blood. And then we'll be all the way back solid again because, he made Cousin Patches upset. But look at these ass. He looked at these ass. And his ass. Just get all funny inside. And so, I love you. I wanted to answer a question or two. What was the question I told you to remember?
Oh, people wanted to know how you got the nickname Patches.
I'm glad you asked that. My mama said when I was born, I looked like a Chapachi Indian. So my daddy was like, oh, she's a little Chapachi Indian. She's so cute. And he started calling me Chapachi. At the time, he started calling me Chapachi. My other sister, who's a couple years older than me, who couldn't say it, I guess, she kept saying Patches, Patches, Patches. So it went from Chapachi to Patches. By the time I was 4, I was Patches. And then the song Patches, I'm Depending on You, Son, came out. And my daddy used to sing that song to me all the time. It's Patches, I'm depending on you, son, to help us pull this family through. So something like that, my dad used to sing it to me all the time. It's kind of crazy. But that is the history behind Chapachi. The baby that just fresh out of womb, of me. I was tiny red. No.
Striking poses.
I was red. My face is red. My little round head body is the one that was taken from the hospital. And then my little fist was balled up. But that's why he said he don't like wake me up in the morning because I sleep with my fist balled up. I don't like waking you up in the morning. Sleep with the fist balled up.
That's that bullying. She's got a lot of bullying. But we'll get off into that. We'll get off into that down the line.
I'm a loving woman. I care for my man. He's not hungry. He's eating filet mignon. Okay?
And taking shits on land.
He drew the line at twice fried bacon.
Deep fried, battered bacon.
Now he wants to drop the line.
I'm a big guy. My cholesterol is probably already off the chain. So for me
draw the line.
But for me to for me to get deep fried, battered bacon.
For somebody who's hamburgers this big.
But that's kind of like pushing the envelope.
I draw the line at that bacon. Dog, I don't want the bacon, but you got this burger that's big. Dinosaur test burger.
Battered, twice fried bacon.
I be trying to cook shit in the middle of the night. I got the walking sleeping disease order to where I sometimes sleepwalk and try to cook stuff. And I almost burnt down the house the other morning. I was asleep in front of a pan thinking I was cooking eggs. And I was burnt. You saved me. I love you. They almost lost me. You weren't gonna let me burn. See, that's love. You weren't gonna let me burn. So it's gonna be more of us. You'll be seeing more of me, more of my crazy family. You're gonna be seeing some of that T-Man. And Whitney loves all your comments. Yes, she is a diva. She does look like me. She's the one who took most feet after me. That was my baby. She still is my baby. So, and I will be answering more of your questions, and you'll be hearing from me throughout the weeks to come. I love you, sugars. So don't forget to tell a mother friend. I don't like saying that word because I know some of y'all kids are watching. That's just too strong. Candy don't give a fuck. She be down tell a motherfucking friend. I tried at least, pause. I try to be a lady, man. This so much shit you can't say nowadays on TV. So anyway, I'll be talking to you, and I also will be having some hot bubbling topics for y'all live from my own personal hot tub, from thoughts from just local friends and family members. So you'll be hearing that. So I'll talk to you later. Much love. Bye-bye.
See y'all later.
Okay.